Coming up here on Dolphins today, we're going to be talking about 3 head coaching options for Tua Tagovailoa. I saw an article out there basically breaking down the top 3 head coaches that the Dolphins should go ahead and hire strictly for Tua. I'll give you those 3 names, tell you what I'm thinking. Davante Adams to Miami. Yes, rumors already starting to pop up around the top free agent wide receiver. And then at the very end of today's show, we're going to be breaking down some Dolphins' top free agent targets. Now, let's first talk about Tua, because Tua has been a quarterback of some controversy. I know there's a lot of, we'll say, Dolphins fans that like him. There's a lot of other Dolphins fans who are like, he's okay. Personally, I sit on the fence that he's somewhere between a top 15 to top 22 type of quarterback. I wouldn't consider him above average. Would consider him probably somewhere around average. Now, Bleacher Report, they released this article about the top 3 head coaches that the Dolphins should hire to get the most out of Tua Tagovailoa, because Stephen Ross has said it. The reason why that they've also moved on from Brian Flores is because the Dolphins want to stick with Tua in 2022. Personally, I think that you should go out, find a head coach that really, really, truly believes in him. Now, before I give you the 3 head coaches that basically are listed here in this Bleacher Report article, I want to know down in the comments section, who would be the best head coach for Tua? There's also different ways to interpret this, which I will be breaking down on today's show. So who would be the best head coach for Tua Tagovailoa? Now, the 3 head coaches that were mentioned in this article: defensive coordinator Dan Quinn of the Dallas Cowboys, Mike McDaniel, offensive coordinator of the San Francisco 49ers, and then Brian Daboll, offensive coordinator of the Buffalo Bills. So what I want you guys to do here is think about some of these names, and I'm going to ask you a simple question right now. Which out of the 3 coaches on screen, or if you think it's somebody else, would be the best head coach for Tua? If you think it would be Dan Quinn, I want you to type DQ. If you're craving Dairy Queen, not a sponsor, I don't blame you. What about Brian Daboll, BD, Mike McDaniel, MM? Or if you think it's somebody else, I want you to go ahead and type O. Now, when the whole question was asked, who would be the best head coach for Tua, the way that I interpret that is which head coach would be able to get the most out of Tua Tagovailoa. Now, you could also take it in the idea of the best head coach to be able to help Tua build a solid team, get the most wins, and if you're able to build a great defense, which then takes some pressures off of Tua's inability to be an elite quarterback, then maybe Dan Quinn's your option, because I think he'd be your best option in building a defense. Well, what if you think, all right, well, Tua's not the top elite quarterback like a Mahomes or a Josh Allen? What if you want to put him in a run-first offense? If you're trying to put Tua in a run-first offense, something like Jimmy Garoppolo's in right now, then yeah, Mike McDaniel, offensive coordinator of the 49ers, then maybe here's your best guy. If you want to go with somebody who has worked with Tua before, has got that continuity, and get some familiarity in this young guy's career, because let's face it, he's already going to have another new head coach. He's already had technically 3 OCs because you had co-OCs last year. Brian Daboll worked with Tua back in Alabama into his first year. So then maybe it's all right, you want somebody who's got familiarity with Tua. Then it's Brian Daboll. The way that I look at it is, who do I think can get the most out of Tua Tagovailoa? I'm actually going to go ahead and say Cowboys offensive coordinator Kellen Moore, because they actually remind me a lot of themselves. Kellen wasn't this elite player at any point of his career. He was just a very, very smart football mind. The reason why he has been successful with the Cowboys, the reason why he worked his way up to OC as quickly as he did, was because of his football mind. I don't think Tua is going to have that athletic ability, but if he can put it together up here, I truly believe that Kellen Moore would be the best option for Tua. Now, I don't know if you guys know this or not. We are 37 subs away from 20,000. There has only been 12 channels in Chat Sports history to hit 20,000 subs. Now, it's a very big accomplishment. I'm very proud of everyone who's ever contributed to a Dolphins video here. So if you love the Miami Dolphins and you want free videos, then I want you to go ahead and subscribe. Another reason to sub, the more subs we get, the more videos and content we can create. The other 12 channels that are over 20K, they get 5, sometimes 6 videos a week, some every single day. If you want free videos every day, man, you got to go ahead and sub. Now, I teased at the beginning of today's show something around Davante Adams. If Davante Adams heads to Miami, we are going live here on this thing. We're going to get wild, no doubt about it. Now, the reason why we're talking about Davante, because Bleacher Report released an article potential landing spots for Davante Adams in 2022 NFL free agency. Now, personally, Bleacher Report believes that Miami would be a top destination for Adams, and I thought it was pretty interesting the fact that they only mentioned 3. When you see people do these type of articles, I mean, we do them here at Chat Sports. I usually like to give 5, 6, 7, 8 teams. The fact that they only gave 3 usually means that they really strongly believe that these 3 teams might be the only top 3 teams. So they listed the Raiders, they listed the Miami Dolphins, and they listed Chicago Bears. So at first, when I saw Miami for Davante, I was like, that's kind of interesting. And then, on top of that, I saw some Aaron Rodgers 2022 odds. Like, if Rodgers went to the Miami Dolphins, who were sitting here with the 3rd highest odds to get the quarterback, if he decides to leave the Green Bay Packers, then yeah, Davante Adams would definitely be interested in joining Miami. However, I don't know how likely either of those 2 are. Now, what do y'all think here? Y for yes or N for no? I want you to go down to the comments and let me know what y'all are thinking. Should the Dolphins target Davante Adams in free agency? I think everyone personally should type their Y for yes. Miami also has a lot of money to spend, so money's not really an option. Every NFL team, including XFL teams, should probably target Davante Adams in free agency. Now, if you guys want to go ahead and bet on the NFC Championship game, the AFC Championship game, one place to do it, and one place only. Last week, I went 2-2. I picked the Bucs to win, which I absolutely hate betting Tom Brady to win anything, and, well, the one time he didn't get it done. Either way, though, luckily for you, if you're new to betting, that's what this 125% deposit bonus can really help. What does that mean exactly? It means if you deposit $100, you're going to get $125 for free to bet with. So to take advantage of the best betting deal on the internet, go to chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Dolphins125 for that 125% deposit bonus. Now let's continue to talk about Davante Adams and why, yes, you absolutely should be typing your Y for yes. Here's the Dolphins wide receiver depth chart. When fully healthy, I think a lot of people would say, damn, this is a really talented unit. You have Jalen Waddle at over 100 catches this year. Devontae Parker's a very good wide receiver too. Will Fuller on most teams would be a great wide receiver 3, but Fuller's a free agent, can't stay healthy. Albert Wilson, free agent. Lynn Bowden Jr. can't stay healthy. Preston Williams is a restricted free agent. Devontae Parker can't stay healthy. Matt Collins, free agent. So here's what Bleacher Report had to say on Adams to Miami. No team will have more cap space to work with this coming offseason than the Miami Dolphins. Spotrac estimates that the Fins are almost $68 million under the projected cap, giving them plenty of funds to go on free agency spending spree. If the team wants to get the best return on its investment, it should look no further than Adams. Now, when you hear that $68 million, a bell should go off in your head like, wonder how that compares to other NFL teams. As it stands right now, at the time I am making this video, the Miami Dolphins have the most salary cap projected space in 2022 with $67.6 million. They are going to have a lot of dollar bills, y'all, to go ahead and spend on Adams. Here's also what Bleacher Report had to say on Adams to Miami. If Miami wants to find Tua Tagovailoa's true ceiling, it needs to beef up his protection and provide him with an elite veteran wideout like Adams. The Dolphins have had plenty of work to do this offseason, including finding a new head coach after their controversial decision to fire Brian Flores. Totally agree. But bringing in Adams aboard, well, I'll get it together, would be one of the shrewdest moves they could make. Now, when you look at some of these numbers here from Adams, obviously he's got Aaron Rodgers, and he's done a lot of great things, and yeah, you're not going to be able to put up these numbers with Tua, but anytime you can be able to find a receiver who's been as dominant as Adams has been with 123 grabs, over 1,500 yards, but especially his red zone presence and his ability to do back shoulder throws, I would like to see that with Tua. Now, what are the chances that the Dolphins go out and they get Adams this offseason? I want you to try to scale it. I know it's a difficult question, but I have faith in y'all. Scale it from 0 to 100. 0 being there is a 0% chance that they're going to get him. 100 being lock it in right now. They're 100% going to get him. Anytime I ask these questions, usually people go a little bit high. So I'm going to go ahead and say probably a 1% chance the Dolphins get Davante Adams. The next story coming up here on today's show is going to be around Eric Fisher. And finally, we're talking about offensive linemen because, let's face it, that's where Miami needs to concentrate. Pro Football Focus wrote an article about one free agent each team should target this offseason. They said that the number one target for Miami should be offensive tackle Eric Fisher of the Indianapolis Colts. Now, when you look at his PFF grades, he had a 68.6, which was 47th among all offensive tackles this season. Now, where does that rank among all Dolphins team? Well, how about this? The Dolphins' 2021 offensive tackle grades, it's not great. It's 50.8. That's 32nd in the league. For people who don't know the NFL, that's the worst in the NFL. For people who have never gotten a 50.8, I can give you my dad and my mom's phone number because I hate to say it, but yeah, I got a few 50.8s in my day, which is definitely not something I'm going to put on the fridge. Now, here's what PFF had to say on the Dolphins pursuing Eric Fisher. The Dolphins tackles earned the lowest unit grade by almost a full 10 points in 2021. With a lot of shuffling players around in the process, rookie second-round pick Liam Eichenberg showed some promise at left tackle, but he probably fits best on the right side. Having Fisher serve on the blindside protector could go a long way solidifying the entire unit. Here's the issue, and send me full screen with this because I want you guys to take a good look at that quote by PFF. I get it. Sometimes they do really good content, and honestly, I like their content for offensive linemen. But that comment by PFF is just pure stupidity because they go ahead and say Eric Fisher, who's a left tackle, and then they want to take Liam Eichenberg, put him the right tackle. They want Eric Fisher to be able to protect Tua's blind side. Do you guys know what hand Tua throws the ball with? He's a lefty. Right tackle is Tua's blind side, not a left tackle like Eric Fisher. So, I still like the idea of going out and getting Fisher as a left tackle, but for your main argument to be putting Eichenberg on the right side so you can have him or Eric Fisher protect Tua's blind side, that just makes no sense to me. It just seems like a very rushed article. So, again, a reason why we're trying to keep you guys up to date here. Now, we're going to continue to go down this path here of PFF and their thought process because part of the show here is obviously keep you guys up to date with news and rumors, but just because you see articles from certain places doesn't mean that they do even nearly the amount of homework that we do. So here's continuing. Fisher played in 2021 fresh off an Achilles injury suffered in the 2020 AFC Championship game, and while there were undoubtedly some struggles, he performed admirably overall. Given that it wasn't a guaranteed, he'd be ready for the season. Prior to this season, Fisher earned pass blocking grades of 70 or better in 6 straight years. He earned a 74.2 run blocking grade in 2021. Clearly, the way for star running back Jonathan Taylor while also displaying his athleticism and his ability to operate in space. Now, I like Eric Fisher, and I think one of the big things missing on that Dolphins offensive line is, yes, they've invested a lot of high draft capital, but offensive line is a tough freaking position, man. And when you're switching these guys all over the place, you need to have some continuity. You also sometimes need to have a veteran like Eric Fisher who can get some of these young guys, young whippersnappers, as my dad would say, into shape. So should the Dolphins go out and pursue Fisher, type P for pursue, or I want you to go ahead and type D for don't. I personally think that, yes, you should pursue Eric Fisher. Not that I don't like Liam Eichenberg, but I think Eichenberg is actually built more to be a guard. It's one of the things that I said during my offensive line breakdowns. I think Austin Jackson could potentially be a tackle, but at the end of the day, you need to be able to go out and find a lot of help on this offensive line. So should they go out and get Eric Fisher? Yes. Should the Dolphins be interested in offensive line? Yes. Should they be interested in every single offensive tackle in free agency? Honestly, probably. Why? Because that's how bad they were last season, and I'm so sick and tired of hearing Dolphins offensive line, Dolphins offensive line. You want to know the best thing to help out Tua Tagovailoa is actually give that man an offensive line.